Welcome back to Conversations with
Chris
and Crystal.
Today we're going to give you 3 ways for women to outwit predatory tradesmen, because we've been there.
Yes.
And I'm sure a lot of you have too.
Yes.
So the first one we'll be talking about is preparation. Be prepared. The second one will be how hard is the thing to do. And the third one is don't assume female tradesmen will treat you any better than the men do.
Yeah.
All right. So especially where mechanics are concerned, you want to be prepared. But I also wanted to mention this thing that happened to me once. I was out. I had bought a new car and I didn't get a stereo in it because that was like $500 more, and at the time that was a lot more money. And so I thought, well, I'll just go buy a stereo separately, because I figured it'd be at least $300 less than I would have paid for at the dealership. So my ex was going with me, and we went to this one store, and the guy was telling us all the different things. This model has this, and this model has that. One of them had an amber colored display, and the other one had a green colored display. And he's talking to my ex most of the time, and then he turns to me and he goes, "But the green one's prettier, huh?" And I turned to my ex and I said, "Let's go."
Yeah, we have to go.
Because that, to me, that condescending, just ticked me off. It's like, you lost our business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing, one of the things that happens when you're dealing with these tradespeople. And especially, like I said, where women are concerned, they look at women, especially mechanics, and they go, cha-ching, $, I can tell her whatever I want, and she's not going to know the difference.
Yep.
So first one is to prepare. Write down any questions you have. Do your research online. Look up reviews, licensing, the average price, because this applies to construction too. Because construction workers can really take advantage of you too.
Yes, they can.
And get 3 quotes, and then watch them while they're doing the work. Because one time I went for just an oil change at this place, and this guy was smoking a cigarette right next to the battery, and that can cause the battery to explode. And I'm like, could you put the cigarette out? And he just kind of laughed at me.
Yeah.
But
they just don't care. No, I had the shower redone at the house, and I wanted a freestanding handheld, and they said, well, that would be 3 times the price just to put that in. And I'm sure there's a lot of tradesmen out there who are going, oh man, who saw her coming? Because they just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what other people started telling me too. Crystal, it sounds like you've got some guys that really don't care what you want. And I did have 2 of the niches put in. I had 2 of them put in. Unbeknownst to me, we had one, set up with the price. And when I wanted the second one put in, unbeknownst to me, and I don't like them, I've never seen this before, but they tilted the shelves so the water runs off, I guess.
Yeah, but then your stuff is going to fall
I know, and your stuff doesn't stay up there. So now I've got 2 of these niches that I can't use. And the second one, I find out later, was $400. Had somebody said, well, if you want that extra one, it's going to be $400, I probably would not have done it. And now that I have them and they're pathetic, I don't like them. The other problem I had with it is I came from the 70s and the 80s, and I like some of those tile works and some of those colors. They're not out there anymore. We're all gray. Everything's gray.
Everything's depressing.
Oh, it's terrible. And so I ended up just, it was like, can you hurry up? Because we were leaking, so we had to have repair work done. And it was like, hurry up, figure out what you want. And so I just got this gray crap, and I got some other stuff. And I won't use the shower. I won't even go in there. My husband's perfectly happy with it.
And then didn't the light go out like right away?
It did. And then they charged me to come and do that too. And they said, oh, well, it had a short of some kind, and your power just isn't up to snuff. And I have a friend who's been an electrician for 50, 60 years. That's all he does. And I brought that up to him, and he said, no, your electrical's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And so another $150 to fix what they just put in within a month. And it's really, really frustrating.
Yeah.
And I do feel like I'm put upon as a woman. Like I said, oh, it's 3 times as much, and it, I don't know. I think if I'd had a man around, they probably wouldn't have said that to him. They probably wouldn't have told him that. But they're trying to just get you to do. They're in a hurry. They want to get this job done. They're on to the next
for
job.
as much money as they can get out of you.
Yep, and that's all they want. And it's really, really frustrating. And they're always trying to talk you out of something and
Or into something else.
yeah. And I just it's too frustrating. And so no, I won't go in there. And I'm perfectly comfortable with that. I'm not happy with what transpired, what it ended up with. Yeah.
Now, our second tip is how hard is the thing to do? So, for instance, like oil changes. Like I was saying, that one guy who smoked by the battery, that's what got me to decide I was going to change my own oil, because it can't be that hard. My dad did it, all his life. And so what did I do to find out if I could do it? I went onto YouTube, looked it up, saw. I mean, we didn't have that back in the day, but it's nice to have now.
It is really nice.
Because there's all these how-to videos out there. You can go on YouTube.
For free. You don't even,
And I learned where the oil pan was in my car. You look up your specific car, and then I figured out how to do it, and I did it, and it's
you have a
cheap.
video on that, don't you?
Yeah, in fact, I need to update that. I'm going to update that, and I'll post it. I started working on that like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's been a while.
But yeah, I'm going to redo it and repost it for you guys. It's my poor old car.
Yes.
My Aveo that was murdered.
Yes, killed.
But now with my present car, I haven't changed the oil on it yet. And I don't know, I'm kind of getting to the point that I'm like, I don't want to anymore.
Yeah, that's where Jeff got too. He didn't want to do it anymore.
So I'm kind of feeling like maybe I'll just suck it up and have somebody else do it all the time now. And especially now that I'm not working, I'm not driving very much.
Right.
It won't have to happen that often.
Yeah, right.
But I digress.
Yes.
So anything you're thinking of, like say you want to replace a door in your house, and you're thinking, well, I could hire somebody to do that. Find out how much they're going to charge.
Yeah.
Then see if you could do it yourself with the do-it-yourself thing on YouTube. Because if it's just a matter of taking one off and putting one on, that shouldn't be that hard.
That shouldn't be that hard.
Now, if you're changing it to like a rounded top or something like that, you're going to need somebody else
something
to do
is
it.
different. Yeah. I think I did that with the dishwasher. There were things that rusted in there, and you can call parts companies, and that's all they do is deal in parts, and you can go get a part to pop right into your dishwasher and change it out. And I've done that a couple of times. The washer I got from a girlfriend. No sooner do we get it, this alarm thing comes on, and I'm going, so okay, wait a minute. So I go to YouTube and I put in what the washer is, and there's tons of people on there that explain what that particular code means and how to take care of it. And we did it. We took it apart and cleaned out an inner filter. Who knew?
Oh.
Yeah. It's a little tube that you pull out, and there's stuff in there that has, if you ever wonder where one of your socks went, they're in there.
Did your friend ever clean the thing? Or
well,
what?
hers was hers. It was hers, definitely. There was a washcloth in there. And some other little things.
Like, you want your washcloth back?
Yeah, really. It's just a weird. I don't know how those they munch them up. I don't know. They just suddenly swallow your stuff, and it can get too full, and then it will have that code will come up.
So yeah, and there's another thing. If you have a friend, like her electrician friend, see if your friend will help you.
Yeah.
There's other options. You don't always have to just suck it up and be ripped off.
Right. Yes, don't let people rip you off. Absolutely not. Get 3 quotes for sure. That we do that in property management. You always get 3 quotes, and then determine between the 3 which one seems to be doing more, offering better. Or something in between, because you don't always want to go with the cheapest either, because sometimes you get what you pay for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So.
And another thing you can do is get creative. I had a dryer, and within like the first year, the little plastic handle that you open the door with, it broke completely off, and I was like, well, that's a fine kettle of fish. What am I supposed to do now? Yeah. And I thought, well, let's see here. Now the holes where the handle was, it went all the way through to the inside. So I thought, I'm going to get this piece of rope, and I put rope through it and tied it off. And I used this rope handle on my dryer for years and years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, get creative. Don't just accept, oh, I'm going to have to get a new dryer now because the door's broken,
Yeah, no, some people will do that. Yeah, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, So the third point is, don't assume that a female tradesman will treat you any better than a man will, because I once had the same car that I was getting the stereo for. I took it to several mechanics. There was this problem every time I drove. If you start up from a stoplight, it'd be like ka-clunk, ka-clunk. And I thought, this is scary. What is going on?
Yeah.
I took it to like 3 different mechanics. One of them was a woman, and she claimed that she found it and fixed it, and it was still doing it. So, she didn't, her whole thing was, oh, yeah, I know what it's like to be a woman and be ripped off. Well, yeah, so she's going to continue to rip people off.
Right.
And what it ended up being, and in fact, I should tell you this too. One of the mechanics I took it to drove it all the way to Wickenburg, and didn't bother to fill it up with gas after he was done either. Oh
my goodness.
And he's like, oh, I couldn't find any problem with it. Well, what it ended up being was one of the engine mount clips had broken.
Yes.
So the engine was going ka-clunk,
It
ka-clunk.
was moving, yes. Oh, wow. So simple. Who found that then?
I forget, but I used that mechanic for a long time after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I forget who that was now.
Yeah, but it really, it can be a very simple fix. And that was something too with getting customer service too, is getting people. It's fun if you call a place and you get one person and they tell you, oh, you have to do this, and this, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you call back because you've done this, and it still doesn't work. So you call back and you get somebody else who has a totally different take on it. Oh, no, this is what you need to do. And you're like, okay, but that's not what they told me before. And it depends on, I think, the knowledge of the person, their experience, their wisdom in the area. That's another thing to consider when you're working with someone,
Along these same lines of this tip is also, if you're a Christian, don't assume that because a company says that it's a Christian, that it's going to be good either. Because anyone who's watched this knows that about my mechanic story from when Crystal went to drop me off, and that mechanic was so busy that they had all this stuff. So I thought, well, I'm going to try this other mechanic because they're a Christian, they're closer to where I live. And I went in because I thought that the radiator was leaking. And it turned out to be the windshield wiper fluid that was leaking. Oh, okay. So when they found that, I was like, oh, what a relief. Oh, but there's $3,000 worth of engine work that needs to be done. And they showed me what the problem was, so I believed them, and I had it done. But then they didn't fix the windshield wiper fluid thing, for one thing. And then the next time I went there, it was my battery had died, and I didn't know it was the battery because I tried to jumpstart it with my mom's car, and I couldn't do it, so I thought it was something else. But what happened was I just couldn't get the jumper cables to connect properly with her car. Yeah. So the tow truck that the Christian place had sent jump-started it for me. So I was like, oh, well, what a relief. And then I started off, I was going to go to Walmart to get a battery. But the guy called me and he says, oh, well, we sent our guy, what happened, blah, blah. And so I felt guilty. So don't feel guilty.
Don't.
Because I took it to them. I said, oh, okay, I'll bring it in. They took all day to put in a battery.
Oh my goodness.
All day. And not only that, but then they told me, oh, while we were in there, we noticed your hoses are really old. Yeah. And it's going to cost about $1,000 to $1,500 to replace those. I said, well, I'll let you know. So then I went and got my oil changed because I was getting free oil changes from the purchase of my car at this one place. And this is the guy I'm using now as my mechanic. And I said, could you check the hoses for me and tell me how much you would charge to replace them? So they checked them and he goes, your hoses are fine. Yeah. And that told me this guy is honest because he could have said, oh, yeah, they need to be replaced. Yeah. This is what we'll charge. Yeah. So that gave me trust in him.
Yep.
So I went back to him for another problem recently, and I had read online that this problem could cost up to $300 to fix, and he fixed it for like $200. So I was like, yes, this is a good one.
Yeah, that's it.
But one last thing I want to say about that Christian company. So I spent $3,000, with them to have this stuff repaired. For Christmas, they sent me a Christmas card, and look at the nice little $25 off gift card.
Okay.
So, oh boy, this card is redeemable for $25 off your service. Great. So next repair I've got that cost me over $3,000, you're going to give me a lousy $25 off? Thanks for nothing. So I don't know, I may keep this anyway, because when they replace the battery, they got me one that's free to replace if it goes bad within 4 years. Mm-hmm. So, if it goes bad and then they want to charge me for putting it in,
Right.
then I'll give their little gift card to them.
There you go. There you go.
But after that, I'm planning to do a scathing review once I'm done with them for good.
Yeah.
Because that's just ridiculous.
Absolutely.
So those are our tips for you on how to outwit predatory tradesmen.
Just a few of them. Believe me, they're out there, and it's very annoying.
And I think that is it for that, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Well, as we always say,
take
care of yourself because nobody else will.
Bye.
Bye for now.